GRIDLIFE GT race number 2 about to fire off. About 8.9 pounds per horsepower. GRIDLIFE's new wheel-to-wheel championship with the biggest field we've seen so far. Gathering momentum and interest and excitement every round so far this year. Pace car is off. Valdes Guerrillas on the front row. Green flag and we're underway. Look at Eric Magnussen going 3 wide up the outside. He wants the lead back. And we're 3 abreast into turn 1-3 for second place 2. On the inside, Pacelli to the inside of Pilipczyk and Magnussen to the lead from 4th place on the start.
That did not take long, from 4th to 1st in 1 turn.
And for 3rd place, look at Pacelli in the Ginetta. That was well done. Pilipczyk struggling here on the opening stages of the race. Alex Moss to the outside into turn 4. But it's Guerrillas and then Magnussen being chased into turn 5.
Guerrillas knows exactly what he needs to do. I don't think he expects to be able to get back around Magnussen, but he's going to try to hang on. Maybe even learn something from Magnussen's lines and try to run away and stay in front of that Ginetta.
And correction, it'll be Clark Camburn in the 78 car. That has been adjusted from the grid, so he's running the secondary transponder, sharing the car duties with Anthony Pacelli. So Camburn behind the wheel now of that Ginetta, and he had a little bit more pace than Pacelli. We haven't seen him in the car since practice, so this will be fun. He's already hounding Guerrillas through turn 9 and 10, and here is Alex Moss in the 150 S2000.
Well, that will be interesting then to see if Camburn isn't the one who qualified. This might bring a race to Magnussen. He's just got to figure out how to get around Guerrillas quickly.
Yeah, again, these two were splitting the sequence of the car. I think they're going to do 1 and 3. Look at this lunge on the brakes from Camburn, who's got a little bit more experience in this Ginetta, putting pressure on that BMW M2 CS Racing ahead of him here. And Clark providing this onboard camera for us to watch him inside the car. And again, look at how just the difference in height of that Ginetta versus the 2 BMWs.
That in-car camera is so cool. You could see him playing a little bit of mind games too. He knew he wasn't going to be able to pass him in that corner, but he put the car there, made himself known in the mirrors, and forced Guerrillas to leave a lane open just in case he actually does stick the car there.
Yeah, while Magnussen starts to drive away, Camburn keeping the pressure on the 244 ahead of him. In the wet, that BMW M2 CS Racing was the way to go. Here's a look at your maximum minimum speeds on that first lap, and Guerrillas 121 miles an hour. Colin King second quick, Magnussen third quick, but he was efficient in the corners and was able to sneak ahead on the opening lap there, courtesy of the fire links these cars are carrying. Thanks to that data, really neat to see it in real time there as Magnussen pulls ahead.
In speed, Magnussen 5 mile an hour advantage almost. That's impressive.
And I think that's due. He's got nice big wide tires on this car. That helps. You see the distance he's putting on the field now. And where did the 244 Guerrillas go? He's lost a spot now to Camburn. So Camburn up to second place in the Camburn Performance Engineering Ginetta. Again, right-hand drive car here. Such an interesting build. Again, started life as a Ginetta Cup car, I believe, and he's since added ABS to it, which is, I believe, a Bosch system in this car.
That's impressive. I'm really interested to see if Camburn is able to have any pace here on Magnussen. We really don't know because he didn't qualify.
No, the only reference point we have is in practice, where I think he was up in the top 3 easily. So he might have actually paced first practice, if I recall correctly.
We'll take a look. I see Alex Moss also made his way up into 4th. That's cool to see.
So across the line there's Camburn into second. 3.6 seconds is the differential. There's Clark, owner and operator of Apex Broadcast, who, if you're familiar with GT World Challenge or Ferrari Challenge, he's behind all those shows there. I think they've got a show out in WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. But Clark, really good guy. I've worked with for a very long time. Cool to see him in the paddock with this team and with this car that typically runs endurance racing. So sprint racing format's a little bit different for him. But now in pursuit of that gold BMW out front.
I'll have to watch the time belt and see if it's making up on Magnussen on any of these laps here.
He told me he's got a 28 in it in good conditions, and if you look at Magnussen's best lap, that's a 29.7. So again, assuming that he can kind of match his pace from practice where he was in the 28s, you know, and now he's got the tires up to temperature, we could watch this gap come back down. And though he doesn't have a fire link on board his car, I think it'll be fun to watch Eric Magnussen try to run away, and we'll see that represented on the data. Get a good look at G-forces next time around, because we've got longitudinal braking forces and lateral cornering forces on the fire links that we can look at and see who's making the most pace.
He can still see Magnussen too. That's an advantage. It's almost like a rapid chase. You know, you might be able to pick off just a little bit more speed each lap if you're just trying to actually chase somebody down and not run from somebody you can't even see.
Yeah, so Camber just improved a little bit there. 3.9 seconds. Kind of matched Magnussen. Close to it that time around. Aurelius 9 seconds back. And you'll note the Eibach GLTC banner. That's what the class that this car typically runs in. Here's turn 4 min speeds last time around. Eric Magnussen, 85 miles an hour, quickest of anybody. Horpedal finally getting that Corvette to turn. It was struggling for him at Lime Rock Park. And Aurelius down a little bit. Maybe not running as high of a downforce trim as some of these other cars. Maybe that's why he's hurting this weekend outside of the rain race.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I don't know what's done to most of these cars. Other than you know, being built as a factory race car from BMW, I don't know what other changes he's made.
Some flames out the right side of the 330 of Eric Magnussen.
That car sounds so good too.
It does. LS engine under the hood here, and Magnussen and Camber both told me their cars were running slightly overweight compared to what's allowed for the rules. So we'll see if that will affect either of these cars here towards the end of the show. Magnussen, again, just getting up to grips with this racetrack. That was really the primary reason why he wanted to run GridLife GT this weekend, was he'd never been here before. Didn't want to end up mid-pack in the GLTC series and would rather try something a little different and run up towards the front.
It's always fun to win a race. Someday I'm going to do that.
And Magnussen again lost the stripe there, lap 5. Camber gained a 10th that time through.
And this is it's not close enough to where he's going to catch him in the course of a sprint race, but it does put the pressure on Magnussen to be perfect.
And there's the differential, 3.8 seconds at the stripe. And while we watch this battle for 4th place, have a look at the braking force here. Colin King, 1.4 G on the brakes. Look where Aurelius is, 1.2. And we'll watch him close in the braking zone here at turn 4. Love the insights from Fire Laps, giving us reference point. And watch this into turn 5 as well. Colin King a little bit deeper to the inside. Tried to make that pass, couldn't make it stick. Wiggle, wobble, and bobbled, and we'll have to give it up for now.
I think that bump maybe caught him off guard as he tried to stick it on the inside of Aurelius there, and it couldn't quite hold it, so now Aurelius has another few chances to run away.
Again, they're actually right ahead of Hans Horpedal and Chris DeLucia as well. There's Hans in the silver C5 Corvette, DeLucia in the BMW right in trail. So 4 cars battling for 3rd.
So if you're DeLucia right now and you think that you're both catching him, you don't really want to make a move. You want to be able to make this multiple moves in one, because you're about to watch this battle in front of you. If they go side by side through these corners, you're catching him in 2 corners.
Drag racing into turn number 11. Aurelius going to hang on. Colin King had to run the long way around.
And now Horpedal and DeLucia have entered the chat.
Now, I'm curious also, now with those guys side by side, we will be able to look at the FireLink data at who was quicker than the other, even if it was, or if it was exactly matched. King up the inside there of Aurelius, going to try to complete this pass.
He should get it done there now.
And he does.
Hans Horpedal tries to also take advantage of a go around the outside. DeLucia crossover.
3 wide. This is dicey. And down into turn 4. Oh boy, that's tough math. And did they come out the other side of that? They did. Hans Horpedal picks up the spot. There's a look at your min-max speeds. King and Aurelius, less than a mile an hour different, but advantage King in that 21 when they were side by side like that.
I'm sure King checked his mirror right there. He saw 3 wide going into the turn 4, and he just smiled. He knew he was going to be able to have a good gap there after that one. There's no way that we're going to make it through there quickly. Meanwhile, Camber picked up over a second in the last lap alone. So if that pace continues, we might have a race for the lead here soon.
Yeah, he did. He still hasn't run a faster lap than Magnussen, at least on a better best lap.
Being a car that's more built for endurance racing, I wonder if it's just not going to fall off as hard as maybe the M3 of Magnussen might fall off.
I think that was the point, is that M3 really would struggle the longer it goes in this trim. But Camber will watch the gap this time across. 1.6 seconds. Camber is closing for the lead here. 5 minutes to go, and we're going to have a battle on our hands with the gold BMW out front and then the Ginetta in trail. But this is the battle for 5th place now. Horpedal, DeLucia, and Aurelius actually make that 4th. Aurelius' drop. Here's your differential for the lead, Dana. Battle's on. What do you do if you're Camber in this Ginetta G56?
Head down, 0 mistakes. don't make any mistakes that Magnuson might make in front of you. You can't follow the line. You just have to drive your own race until you're within striking distance, and then you have to make him get offline somehow, mess him up.
Love this onboard look. He's dialed in right now, chasing Eric Magnuson in the 330 BMW up towards turns 8, 9, and 10. And this Ginetta, much lower slung, lighter weight than the BMW ahead of him.
It appears to be making up a lot of time in the brake zones. I think we could look at fire lap on braking force, right?
Well, we certainly can. I think we got cornering force queued up for this one, but maybe it'll be braking that we'll have a look at this. Well, the camera doesn't have a fire link in it, so we won't be able to see his data specifically. But down into turn 11.
Just watch them as I go into 11. It does appear that he's making up a lot of time. We'll see what the gap is as they cross the line, but he's certainly closing the gap on Magnuson here with only 3 minutes 50 seconds left on the clock.
This is going to be fun between these two. Across the stripe here. Headlights flashing. Cameron's trying everything under a second between the front two, and Magnuson struggling a little bit as Cameron reels him in the Cameron Performance Engineering Ginetta. Two extremely different cars. The successful formula from Heibach GLTC turned up a notch. Headlights still flashing on this Ginetta.
This might be the first GLGT race we've had where people are flashing hot lights at each other, trying to get them to make a mistake.
I love it. We haven't really seen that strategy employed a whole lot in wheel-to-wheel and grid life. Have a look at the cornering force here. Magnuson still topping the charts. 1.4 G in the left-hander, turn 5. And really impressive drive by Magnuson to get out in front so early. Big gain there, leaving the corner. And braking force, though, Colin King out-braking Eric Magnuson. And here's Clark Cameron again on the onboard, reeling in that 3:30. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. That should be 2 laps left if all is going to plan here in timing and scoring.
Watch him set up the turn right here, get a better exit than Magnuson onto the straight.
Magnuson just kicked his lights on as well, maybe getting ready to flash his own. I love that. Ooh, he's getting outgunned on the straights quite a bit there by the looks of it, but down in the braking zones and the corners, that Ginetta's just locked in.
He might not have the pace advantage at the end of the straightaway, but he certainly does in the brake zones.
Through turn 13, Magnuson a little off the apex there. White flag is in hands. They're only going to get one more lap, and Clark Cameron is right on the heels of Eric Magnuson for the top step. 1 lap to go here from Autobahn Country Club.
Man, Magnuson has probably kicked it up a notch. He is really not close enough. Cameron is not close enough to do anything with it quite yet. He needs to be just a little bit closer to look for any opportunity somewhere to put his car.
Coming around to turn 4, I think Cameron is going to have to get creative with it. He was a 10th quicker last time around. Both these drivers new to this series this weekend and putting on a show at the front of the field. Both of these will be first-time winners in GridLife GT if they were to get the job done. 5 car lengths, and watch that BMW grow the gap here, and then it's going to all close up in the brakes as soon as Cameron, look at that gap for the BMW here.
This Ginetta is fantastic on the brakes. You'll be able to watch it on the in-car. Look at him close up, probably 5 car lengths sliding through the corner.
Oh, so close.
Have to set this up just perfect. I think the BMW has a little more legs. Oh, Cameron goes a little wide, maybe tries to stick a nose in, doesn't do it. Really good exit from Magnuson.
Yeah, that was, I think, enough in defense. And maybe with a couple more laps, I think Clark Cameron would have had something for him. Looks like he's that car's struggling more than I'd expect on the straights. But look at the gain. He's chucking it down there. But it's not going to be enough. Eric Magnuson, after sitting on pole in the first race and struggling in the wet, will swing through turn 13. Yes, it's a new trim and a new series, but Eric Magnuson is a winner in GridLife and a winner in GridLife GT for the first time. Wins race 2 of GLGT here at Autobahn Country Club. Clark Cameron a second behind, and he just needed more time, Dana, to get the job done there.
Yeah, he certainly did. Magnuson has the advantage of fastest lap of the race also, so he'll start on pole again. He won't have to worry about passing 4 cars into turn 1 this time. But Cameron will, I would have to assume, start in second, but we'll have to look at the lap times.
Hey, both giving each other thumbs up there. I think that was a fun chase. That was a blast.
They could actually give each other a fist bump, you know, if they're on the right sides.
Yeah, they absolutely could. And a long ways back, Colin King lands on the podium, 3rd place in the 21 Viking car. Hans Horpedal 4th, Chris DeLucia 5th, and the 244 Gorelius 6th place in the 244. Wow, that was awesome. Jordan Wisely should come home in 8th behind Adam Ulrich. And I just see that car cross the line right ahead of Eric Pilipchik and David Calzada in the 174. We'll have a look at our race results here for GRIDLIFE GT. Race number 2, Eric Magnussen with the P1 thumbs up celebratory picture there on the right. Clark Camburn in his first ever race. Second place by just 1 second. Was even closer than that at times. Colin King, Hans Horpedal, Chris DeLucia. Third, fourth, and fifth. Valdis Gorilius, then Adam Ulrich, Wisely, Pilipchik, and Calzada. And looking down the rest of the order, Matt Cater, Alex Peitz, and Alex Moss ended up with a DNF there. Dana didn't see him peel off, but must have been dealing with a problem.
Yeah, they've been